Hello guys, welcome back to another video. We have the whole Christensen crew here. Theo, where are you? Theo's very excited to be running errands. It is Saturday today and we are headed to just hit up Costco, but what you guys care about in this video is we are going to Target and we are going to, in this video, do a taste test of the new, I feel like literally every influencer has been gifted it, everyone is reviewing it, everyone is raving about it from what I've heard, the Khloe Kardashian Khloud popcorn. So they have it at Target. We're gonna go to Target and get it, and then we're gonna do a little taste test in this video and see if it lives up to the hype, both from a taste perspective, but also from a lot of the claims and the nutrition. Is it actually better, healthier than a lot of other products out there? So let's do it. Okay, we found the popcorn aisle. I see it. Okay, this might be overkill, but I think we have to do all three flavors, right? Like, I think if we're gonna do a proper taste test, we need to, right? So we're gonna do the white cheddar, sweet and salty, and the olive oil and sea salt. $4.99 each. I'm spending $15 on popcorn, which feels excessive. Okay, the last thing we need to find is my husband. Where did he say he was? Husband. Nope, that's not him. I found him. Okay guys, we are doing our taste test here. I've recruited my husband to help me so we can get a very clear picture and an unbiased opinion. So, what do we want to start with?
Let's start with the basic.
Sounds good. Okay. Smells like popcorn. Looks like popcorn. Take a piece and we'll try it together. Cheers! It tastes like popcorn.
It almost doesn't really have much of a flavor.
But I do notice a little bit of like residue on it. There's a little bit of powdery, which is the protein powder. I think they call it like cloud dust. I think it tastes like popcorn.
A little less salty than.
I don't hate it. Okay, let's go, keep going savory. White cheddar. I am very proud of myself for not ripping that bag. I think it tastes good.
More flavor than the first one.
A very subtle
flavor.
Busting through this. Sweet and salty. Now this is up Colleen's alley. A couple pieces here. It's not very sweet. Okay, this piece has got like, oh, it's a little more sweet.
I would say we're doing rankings, we're gonna wait to the end. No residue though.
No, not as much.
I think it's kind of like baked into the...
Like crystallizes?
Yeah.
Okay. Oops. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's popcorn. Thoughts?
Yeah, just tastes kind of like...
I don't think it tastes super like proteiny.
No, it doesn't have an aftertaste.
Taste-wise, I think it's good. I think the flavors are much more muted than if you were to get like a regular, like I'm thinking like Angie's, is that what it's called? Boom Chicka Pop, is that something? The other like typical popcorn stuff, I don't know.
I think the other two were more the like disappointing, not as much flavor.
I think I like this one best.
Well.
Yeah, just because I'm looking for something more sweet than this, but to be honest, now were they worth $5 a bag? Like 3 or 4 is like a regular popcorn.
Maybe for like a one-off. I mean, it has good branding, looks cool, but...
Okay, I will let him go. We will get more into the nutrition and stuff later. We didn't rank, sorry. Okay, what was your rankings?
I'm gonna go in that order, 1, 2, 3.
I think I would go, I think I would actually go 1, 2, 3, because again, I'm just looking for, when I want like something sweet, I want something more sweet than this, but comparing my sweet tooth to your sweet tooth is also not comparing apples to apples. We're comparing apples to oranges there. So, yeah, okay, thank you. Okay guys, it is a few days later here, and let me tell you what, it is a chilly, dreary, dark, and rainy day here. It's actually morning. So I thought, let's go ahead and dive into the popcorn, the claims, is it healthy, the more nutrition info side of it. First of all, can we also leave a comment and let my husband know if you liked seeing him on the channel? He doesn't make appearances often, but what a sweetheart doing that for me, so thank you, honey. Okay, so let's start with the obvious, the protein thing. So there's absolutely a time and place for protein to be added. If I'm running between calls and I need something that's gonna keep me more full and more satisfied, or let's say I'm at the airport or something and I'm about to get on a plane and I want something that's gonna, be a little bit more filling, choosing something with protein might be a great option, a form of self-care to pick. But let's look at another situation. I might be like, I'm just looking for something to satisfy my sweet tooth. Maybe it's a little bit of lunch dessert or something like that. I probably wouldn't pick this because like you saw in the taste test, I didn't think this was as satisfying for my sweet tooth when I want that. In that instance, like if I just had a satisfying lunch that had some protein in it, I don't necessarily need more protein in that moment. Whether you pick this or not really kind of depends on the situation. It depends on accessibility. This can be more expensive, but something with protein in it, I do not believe is bad or wrong necessarily. And I asked you guys about this, just what your initial thoughts were on it, and I was a little surprised, you guys. And I actually talked about this. Ooh, that does smell good though. Anyway, I actually talked about this. I went on a little rant about it on the podcast yesterday. But I want to talk about something that I noticed. I'm actually going to pull up my phone because I want to actually read some of these. So I will link that in the description. But like I said, having protein added to something is not necessarily diet culture. And I get why people's gut reaction is like, oh, protein doesn't need to be added. I get that. I really, really do. But it's also okay. Like I said, it can be a form of self-care. It really depends on the intention. And actually seeing something with protein as automatically, heck no, nope, can't do it, is actually still letting diet culture dictate your choices. You're just now doing the opposite. What we want with No Food Rules is for you to learn to decide, is this the time? Is this the place? Is it not? That's what true food freedom is. You have the freedom to decide. And if that's never for you, where you're like, I don't like this, totally fine. But it doesn't automatically make it diet culture. So let's break down some of the things on the label here. Whole grain. Popcorn is a whole grain, meaning that it contains all parts of the grain, the bran, germ, and the endosperm. It's got that fiber remaining intact, which can also help you feel full. There's a variety of benefits to having those whole grains and fiber. Gluten-free. Popcorn itself naturally doesn't have gluten, but sometimes the ingredients or additives can. Now, unless you have a gluten intolerance or an allergy, eating gluten is fine. Yes, that can be going against what a lot of the influencers say, but from a scientific standpoint, it's fine for most people. Like I said, unless you have that documented intolerance or allergy. And actually, gluten-free products can be lower in protein because the refining of removing the gluten removes some of that protein. Non-GMO. This one gets a lot of hype and stands for non-genetically modified organism. And what the science overwhelmingly shows is that GMOs, they are safe. Some people might prefer to avoid them, but in and of itself, they are not bad, they are not wrong, and not something that you necessarily need to be avoiding, even though there might be fear-mongering around them. Cane sugar. So this just means that they're using sugar. Now this might be important for someone if you notice that artificial sweeteners, which a lot of protein products have, can disrupt your tummy. Maybe they make you a little gassy or give you the runs, or you just don't like the taste of them. There are certain ones that I'm just kind of like, don't like the taste of them. Some cereals that are like proteiny give me that way. So this can, for me, that's what kind of this shows me. Not better, not worse, just information. Then on the back, they also talk about simple ingredients that you can pronounce. Again, just because you can't pronounce an ingredient does not necessarily mean it's bad. A lot of times, heck, they have Himalayan on here. Sometimes that's a hard word to pronounce. But certain things that you can't pronounce or you don't understand doesn't necessarily mean it's bad or wrong. If I told you the breakdown of what a vitamin C is or vitamin D, right? It would probably be something you'd be like, what? It doesn't necessarily mean it's bad or wrong just because of the way that it looks. Don't judge a book by its cover. don't judge an ingredient by the number of letters or if you're familiar with it. So then they talk about their naturally derived complete protein, and this is what their cloud dust is. And when you eat it, you will kind of have a little bit. It wasn't as much as you guys had made me believe it would be, but there is a little bit of film, and that's the cloud dust. Now this popcorn gets its protein from a naturally derived milk protein isolate, and complete protein means that it contains all 9 essential amino acids. Sometimes plant-based varieties do not necessarily contain all of those 9. Doesn't make them bad, doesn't make them necessarily worse. A lot of times we will get the other amino acids from other foods in our day, but this just shows that it's got all 9. And essentially cloud dust is just their branded seasoning and protein blend. It is a proprietary blend, and what that means is they don't have to tell you exactly what's in it of each ingredient. And as a dietitian, whenever I see especially supplements that contain proprietary blends, I want to know how much of the ingredient that they are saying. For example, sometimes supplements will claim like lion's mane. This has lion's mane in it, which is something that can help with a variety of wellnessy things. A lot of times they're like stress relief or something like that. And there are clinical doses, but a lot of times the supplements in their proprietary blends don't have the amount of something that is actually going to give you that benefit. There's been multiple supplement companies who have reached out to me with specifically like a lion's mane product, and I'm all for, you guys know, mental wellness and reducing stress, and sometimes that can be through things like that. But if you're not giving me the actual amount of the dose that's going to be helpful, that's a red flag for me. But I digress. That's what you see when you think of like the Cloud proprietary blend. For this, it's really just mostly protein and the kind of spice blend that they use. A lot of it, I think in this case, is just marketing, so they can be like, haha, our proprietary blend. You can only get this from us. Now, the seed oils debate. So it says no unhealthy seed oils. Let's chat. This is a big selling point that they use olive oil versus seed oils. And let me say this loud and clear. You listening? Seed oils themselves are not inherently bad. I know a lot of influencers say otherwise, but the science just doesn't back that up. Seed oils like canola or soybean oils, they're rich in omega-6 fatty acids, and that idea between too many omega-6s and not enough omega-3s is where a lot of people have this fear coming from. But it's not necessarily about the oil itself, it's more of our overall picture of food, our overall diets and eating patterns. A lot of times these seed oils are what people use. A lot of times they can be more affordable for manufacturers to use in things like highly processed foods and maybe sugary products. So we correlate, oh, they have more seed oils. It's the seed oil that's potentially causing the issue, when in reality, it's more likely the overall diet quality and potentially consuming more of those products that lend themselves to seed oil use. If you are someone who prefers to just have olive oil, there's nothing wrong with that. I want to be very clear. Everyone has their own preferences and choices, but to demonize seed oils and the food fear mongering that we see all over social media is it's just not accurate. So bottom line here, if you try it and you love it, or you want something that's going to be crunchy, fun, and keep you full a little bit longer, it could be a great option. If you're trying to, like in my instance, satisfy a sweet tooth, maybe it's not the right one, and we go with more of like the OG popcorn. Also, if we're getting most of our protein from products like this, it might be a sign to look at more of our overall dietary pattern. If you're adding it as part or a little bit of a boost here and there, that can be totally fine. And as always, look at labels and products with curiosity and not necessarily fear, or seeing things as diety versus not diety. Products in and of themselves, marketing aside, are not diety or not dieting. You and your interpretation and usage of the product is what can cause that diet mindset. Let me know in the comments if you guys have tried this, which of your flavors. My husband and I disagreed. This was my least favorite one, like I said, because it was so far from what I expected. Still, I mean, it's still good, just not sweet enough for me when I'm wanting something for my sweet tooth. But I would love to hear your guys' just thoughts on the overall concept of it, the product itself if you've tried it, and any other thoughts that you've had. So drop those in the comments, and I hope that you guys liked this video, found it fun and educational for you. We're all about nutrition education without the food fear mongering or diet culture here. So if that sounds like it's up your alley, be sure to be subscribed to the channel, hit the like button on this video, and hit the little bell to be notified for every time a new video is uploaded. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one. See you later.